So let's take deeper dive into Kinesis data streams. Let's try to understand the terminologies and the concepts and the components that Kinesis data streams has. First of all, as I said, Kinesis data streams is a logical grouping of multiple servers. And as I'm talking about serverless, we do not have to maintain or manage the servers. It is managed by AWS. So it is a complete serverless offering or serverless message broker or data ingestion platform or streaming data ingestion platform provided by AWS. Now, when I say streaming data, of course, there would be continuous data flow, and these data would be written by something called producer applications, which will write these data or send records to Kinesis data streams. Now, these producer applications can be of different type. They can be IoT devices. So let's say there are temperature sensors, earthquake sensors, car sensors, smart watches, smart devices, etc. They would have the SDKs available or installed in their devices so that after the data is captured, they can be sent to Kinesis. There can be a lot of real-time applications like stock market, tracking of trains, tracking of flights, etc. There can be another interesting use case, which is CDC from databases or change data capture from databases. Now, these databases are OLTP databases or transactional databases. Because those are transactional, there might be a lot of transaction which would be happening on those databases throughout the day or throughout the business hours. And those changes are captured by CDC tools and then can be sent to message broker like Kinesis. Needless to say, there can be a lot of smart devices which would send continuous data to Kinesis data streams or message broker for streaming data ingestion. So this is the part or the producer applications are the applications which send data to a streaming message broker like Kinesis data streams or KDS. There would be continuous data consumption also, and those are done by consumer applications which read data from these message brokers like KDS. And there can be different type of applications like Spark, which can be on EMR or Databricks, or Spark streaming on EMR and Spark streaming on Databricks. And we can use AWS Glue streaming also. Glue also provides stream processing using PySpark. So look into that later on once I finish the Kinesis chapter. And then we can use Lambda also for consuming the data that is coming into KDS. Now let's talk about various components of KDS. First is of course KDS itself or Kinesis data streams itself. Then we have shards or partitions. Now do not get confused by shards and partitions. Both are similar in the context of Kinesis data streams. So shards are nothing but individual partitions which are there in KDS. Now these shards would have its own compute and storage. Of course we need storage because we'll have to store the data temporarily, and we need compute also because the data would be sent from some application to KDS, and those data have to be captured from some IO devices, let's say network IO. So individual shards are nothing but an entire server. You can consider it as an entire server, or a group of shards can be considered as entire server. The only difference here is that we'll not be managing the server, or in fact, the servers will not be even visible to us because it is a completely serverless offering from AWS. We'll have to deal with shards only, the number of shards or the number of partitions that you want. And inside of shards, we have data records because producer applications will send records and consumer applications will read records. So these shards would contain these records. And there can be number of shards in a particular KDS. Let's say there are 10 shards and you are sending 10,000 records per second. How do you know which record to be landed on which shard? So for that, we use some other components. But before going there, I just wanted to mention that the supported record size on KDS can be from 1 megabyte to 10 megabytes. That is the record size in KDS. This is a supported record size. A single record can be from a few bytes to 10 megabytes. Earlier it was only 1 megabyte. Now they have increased it to 10 megabytes. Now, as you can see in the picture that there are, I think, 9 records. Record 1, 4 and 5 are in shard number 0, 6, 8 and 9 are in shard number 1, and 2, 3 and 7 are in shard number 2. So how to decide which record to go to which shard? Here I'm showing you only 3 shards. There can be tens or even hundreds of shards also. Of course, there should be a mechanism using which Kinesis would decide where to send the records to which shard. And for that, we use something called partition key. So while sending the records to Kinesis data streams, we need to provide a partition key. And based on that, based on the value of the partition key, that particular record would be landed in one of the shards which are available. Then there is something called sequence number, and this sequence number is unique number available per shard per partition key. Now, the partition key does not have to be unique, meaning that let's say you have device ID and I'm sitting in Bangalore. Let's say there are devices in Bangalore with ID from 1 to 100. There can be devices in Mumbai also with the ID 1 to 100. So you see that the partition key can be non-unique. Now, because partition key is used to distribute data across shards, the records with the same partition keys would be landed on the same shard. Because Kinesis uses some hashing mechanism to send the record to an individual shard. Now, if there are similar partition keys and let's say there are similar data also, then we need a way to identify each data uniquely in a single shard. So that's what sequence number is. Then we have the actual data, which is actually the binary record, binary data in each record. So these are the components of Kinesis data streams or KDS. Now, earlier I told you that these records are temporary. The message brokers like Kinesis, Kafka, etc. are temporary storage. So the data cannot be stored permanently here. So if you want to store data permanently, you'll have to rely on data warehouses, data lakes, data lakehouse, etc. But how do we control how long the data would be stored in a message broker like Kinesis or Kafka? In case of Kinesis, we have something called retention period, and it is similar in Kafka also. We use retention period to mention the number of hours, days, etc., up to which the records would be stored in the message broker. And the retention period in Kinesis can be from 1 day to 365 days or 1 year. By default, it is 1 day. So I have talked about shards, I have talked about capacity and storage. I told you that a group of shards would be handled by a single server. It is highly unlikely that a single shard will be handled by a single server. It will always be a group of shards which will be handled by a single server. Now, when there is server involved, that means there should be some capacity associated with KDS. And that's what KDS shard capacity is. The producer applications will write or send data to individual shards. Of course, which shard the record would go to, that would be decided by the partition key, and consumer applications will read or get the data from these shards. Now, as you can see that the records reading or writing is to a single shard only, meaning a single record cannot be written to multiple shards, or the same record cannot be read from multiple shards, right? So that's why the capacity is defined at shard level only. While writing, a single shard can support 1 megabytes per second of writes. So shard 0 will support 1 Mbps of write, shard 1 will support 1 Mbps of write, and shard 2 will support 1 Mbps of write. So a single shard cannot have more than 1 Mbps of writes or more than 1000 records per second. This is again for a single shard, and this is on the writing side. Now to read data, it is 2 Mbps per second per shard or 2000 records per second per shard. So let me try to simplify it. Here we have a total number of shards of 3. So now if I have to tell you what is the capacity of this Kinesis data stream, the name can be anything. But what is the maximum capacity? What is the maximum read capacity? And what is the maximum write capacity of this Kinesis data stream? As we have only 3 shards, so the maximum write capacity would be 3 into 1 MB per second, which is the maximum amount of write throughput that you can get from a single shard. So the maximum write capacity would be 3 into 1 or 3 megabytes per second across all the producer, or 3000 records per second across all the producers. Meaning, let's say there are 100 producers and all of them are sending data or writing data to the same Kinesis data stream, combining all those 100 producers, we cannot have a throughput more than 3 megabytes per second in this shard, or the producer applications cannot write more than 3000 records per second to this Kinesis data stream. If the producer tries to write more, of course, those would be throttled and Kinesis will throw some error. That is the maximum write capacity. Similarly, there can be maximum read capacity. In the throughput side, it would be 3 into 2 megabytes per second, because each shard can handle only 2 megabytes per second. So the maximum read throughput that you can get out of this single Kinesis data stream is 6 megabytes per second. This is the throughput. And the maximum number of records that can be read from this Kinesis data streams is 6000 records per second, unless there's something called enhanced fan out. We'll talk about enhanced fan out later on, and this enhanced fan out works on the read side only. As far as write is concerned, a single chart cannot have more than 1 megabytes per second of write or 1000 records per second of write. Now it's time to create KDS. First, of course, you'll have to provide a name, and then you'll have to provide the number of shards that you want, because using the number of shards will define the capacity of a single Kinesis data stream. And there are two types of capacity modes. The first one is on demand, wherein we do not mention the number of shards. The reason is because the shards scale automatically. It is mainly for unpredictable workload wherein we do not know how much data would come and when. Or if the workload is variable, let's say, meaning during breakfast time, the number of records would be very high, then it would go to a dry spell. And after that, maybe during supper or lunch, it would need, or it would send, or the application would send a lot of records. So that is a variable workload. For development environment also, we use on demand because we'll be using very often. That's why. And whenever we create the Kinesis data streams for hands-on, it will be for development environment only. And another very important use case is for spiky workload, meaning let's say only during a particular duration, which is very small, the number of records or the expected number of records ingested in Kinesis would be very high. In these kind of scenarios, we'll be using on-demand capacity mode. Then you have provisioned. If we use provision capacity mode, we'll have to provide the number of shards. And it is highly useful when the workload is known, when the workload is predictable, and it follows certain known patterns. In those cases, we can use provision workload. For example, temperature sensor or earthquake sensor that I was talking about, because we know that these are the number of devices. We know the frequency at which the devices will send data, and we know how much data would come because there are only so many devices across the globe. Let's think of another use case, which is car sensors. Now, when you talk about car sensors, we know that the number of cars would be much higher in the morning than in the afternoon and way more than at night. So in those cases, that is a variable workload. Provision might work for those workloads, but of course we'll have to do the pricing to see whether on demand would be better or provision would be better. Now these capacity modes are for pricing in Kinesis. That is the first consideration. And the second one is how serverless experience you want. On demand is purely serverless because you do not even have to mention the number of shards. And in provision, we'll have to provide the number of shards. Again, that is also serverless. The record size in Kinesis can vary from a few bytes to 1 MB or 10 MB also. As I said earlier, it was 1 megabyte. Now they have changed it to 10 megabytes. So let's create a Kinesis data streams for our environment.